Hello everyone, and welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club. If you're watching this on the day of release, it has been out for 1 year today. And I did a playthrough on my Twitch account, link in the description, with the other person who owns the Twitch account, my housemate Johnny. A few of other housemates stopped in during it. And I was going through the footage of that, and we didn't record it all. So I figured for the anniversary of such a wonderful game, I would do a full playthrough on the channel for today. So, new game, and in honour of that, we will be Jidge, with no capital. But we'll be Jidge 2. Oh, can't be Jidge 2 like that, so we'll be Jidge 2. So, hey! I'm gonna do voices. I'm not sure how good they're gonna be or consistent, but I'm gonna try. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works because you've known each other for so long. I do. I have a friend like that. Do you have a friend like that? We used to walk to school together on days like this, but frequently, around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I feel almost better off running away. Interesting. Let's save. Great music, isn't it? However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up with me. I overslept again! But I caught you this time! This is the same voice I did on stream, by the way. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. My housemate did this voice, so it won't be as good. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Jidge 2. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. This is not a sponsored video, but here's a lion cup. Gotta have that sweet, sweet cup of tea. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Jidge 2. Have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you'd join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little bit too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. I was talking about how worried I were that you weren't learning to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. At the time of playing this originally, I didn't actually know what a NEET was, but I believe it's like not in education something or training. Not employed in education or training, I think. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, as if looking for an ounce of motivation. I know that feeling. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori must have come into the classroom whilst I was spacing out. I look around and realise I'm the only one left in the classroom.
I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting out and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed.
You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club.
Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know...
Know what?
Well, that you could come to my club.
Sayori.
Yeah?
There is no way I'm going to your club.
Meanie.
Sayori is the vice president of the Literature Club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest in the club after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club.
Come on, please!
Why do you care so much anyway?
Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I'd bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything.
Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay?
Yes, let's go!
And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door.
Everyone, the new member is here!
I told you, don't call me a new member. Wink. I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Okay, my housemate did a Bane impression, but I don't think I'll be able to do it. So, yeah. I'll think of something else. Seriously? You brought a boy? I'm sorry if that is a bad accent, but I'm sorry. I'm not sure what is going. Way to kill the atmosphere. Aha. Monica. I'm not sure what to do for Monica. I know, Monica will be me. Just my normal voice. But without my usual changing of my normal voice. So, Judge 2. What a nice surprise. That's right, I have a lisp. I bet no one knew that. Welcome to the club. Ellipses? All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it! Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She is also the one who made the cupcakes, according to Sayori.
You can just ignore her when she gets moody.
Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back to the girls.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club.
Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears to be comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you.
It sounds like you already know Monica, is that right?
That's right. It's great to see you again, Didge, too. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, and athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica.
Come sit down, Chich.
Too.
We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me. Or
Monica. Sorry for getting a bit yodery there.
I'll get the cupcakes.
Hey, I made them. I'll get them.
Sorry, I got a little too excited.
Then how about I make some tea as well? I'm sorry if I can't keep up with these accents. It's confusing me already. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table, somewhere behind the camera. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay! Are you ready? Ta-da!
Wow!
Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears.
So cute!
I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Hehe. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Suri grabs one first, then Monica. I follow.
It's delicious!
Suri talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. Where? Where on her face? I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavour. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Well, why are you thanking me? It's not like I... Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything, baka. Huh? I thought you technically did. Sayori said. Well, maybe, but not for you, no. You dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places the teacup on it in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry. The teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I mean, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading may not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. Who doesn't? Good old cuppa. Here's a question for you. Do you find it strange that I leave the tea bag in my teacup when I'm drinking my tea? I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow and then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seems really happy here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure that you feel right at home, okay? As the president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Just saying, my lisp is something that I am more used to speaking without at the moment, because I don't really speak like it very often. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you the leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand up to all the politics of the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity, and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make it something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream.
Monica is a really great leader.
Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not that many people are interested in putting in all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident that we can really grow the club before we graduate. Right, everyone?
Yeah!
We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted at the idea of a new member joining, though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Jidge 2, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, Considering how little I've read the past few years, there's not much I can say. Hang on. History. I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I might have quiet to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. I'm doing that with mine at the moment. Ah, man. The amount of sexual jokes that came out when we first started doing this, like, there was a... Not the only thing she's going to be rimming tonight. And the whole new member thing was a penis joke and yada yada yada. Anyway, that's why I did the wink. Anyways. My favourites are usually the novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story with such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you through a loop? Meta! Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped at something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really, I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that, but if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I can't really put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Oh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes darted over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like writing about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind at the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! And give that back! Sorry, that accent is changing a lot. Fine.
Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are!
Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and places her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems. Yeah, well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. I'm not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example to help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. Ellipses. I guess it's the same for you, Yuri. For Yuri, even.
Oh, I wanted to read everyone's poems!
We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Ellipses. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then the next time we meet, we'll share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Ellipses.
Yeah! Let's do it!
Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Jidge 2? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind this entire time. I never said I would join this club. Suri may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All the four girls stared back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought. Judge 2. You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up.
Yes, I'm so happy.
Siri wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey. You really scared me there for a moment. If you really only came for the cupcakes, I'd be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Jidge too, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress a class star like Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside of me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up the food.
Hey,
Jidge too.
Since we're already here, do you want to walk home together?
That's right, Sari and I never walk home together anymore, but she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well.
Yay!
With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls.
Sayori!
Natsuki. Yuri. And of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have a chance to go closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. We have our favorite club member, by the way, guys. So, existence. Universe. Incongruent. Disaster. Eternity. Determination. Contamination. Extraordinary. Oh, wow, fair enough. Vivacious. Agonizing. Disoriented. Hopeless. That's just sad. Melancholy. Entropy. Wrath. Effulgent. I don't even know what that means. Massacre. Tragedy. Electricity. Then... Whirlwind. Haha! Hi again, Jidge 2. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is here already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Jidge 2. I really hope this isn't too overwhelming a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you were not accustomed to it. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds her stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat.
Don't worry, guys.
Jidge 2.
Always gives it its best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking, like cooking, cleaning my room.
How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set fire to your house once.
Is that so?
You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous.
How come? You and
Jidge 2
can become good friends too.
Sayori. Ellipses. As usual, Sayori seems to be oblivious to the weird situation she's put me into.
Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know?
Oh, wait, Sayori. Me? Not really.
Don't be shy.
It's really nothing. What is it?
Never mind.
Damn it! Wrong voice. Siri made it out to sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? Pouring myself some more tea, by the way. Brought a flask with me.
Eh? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking.
I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Jidge 2 away! Also, let's save. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy, no matter what. Look at her blush! Oh! Totes adorbs. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? I know, look at her, she's so adorable! Ah! Sorry. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite not me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the class, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayuri and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in the book. I can't help but notice an intense expression like she's waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a bit more, but at the same time I feel bad from distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks the same book she just lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. Ellipses. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place, but I'm just rereading this bit, so that's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it, not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans the cover over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl from high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister, but as soon as she does, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who've escaped from a human experiment prison, and while her life's in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts falling apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark came out of nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Jidge 2? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot Yuri's into those kinds of things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange, new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then, suddenly when you thought you were related to the protagonist, they are made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling a bit, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. In the book or the girl? Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange, and please stop me if I start talking too much. I don't really think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all.
That's true. In fact,
I might as well get started reading it, right?
you don't have to.
What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it.
Ellipses.
Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I put in my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, it's just something I'm not very used to. It's the reading with company of someone.
I see. Well, if you'd like, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
Alright. Open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company, as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe it's a little distracting, but it feels somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realise that she's not actually looking down at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just...
Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Here, this should work, right?
I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so I use my right hand to hold the book open.
Oh, I guess this makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Look at her!
Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between the thumb and the forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, when I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb, after it flips to the side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. As if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page.
Sorry.
I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Thanks.
We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume she's finished the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb.
Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but do you want to go out sometime?
The main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit, I mean.
What? I never asked you out.
You think so? How does she...
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things she says and does. Like, she's afraid she'll do something wrong.
It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're the kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms, even though I only met you yesterday. I see. He remains silent for a moment. But Jidge too. That's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that.
Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing.
I guess I meant
it's more kind of cute.
What are you saying all of a sudden? Ellipses. Okay, everyone. Exclamation mark at the end of an ellipses. I think it's time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You were kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's fine. Sorry, I lost the accent. Yuri released her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb.
Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read with you?
I guess I don't have too much preference either way.
In that case, I'll read a little more tonight.
It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know?
That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time.
Alright.
I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back in my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night?
Yeah.
My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never done anything like this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with?
Yeah, I can't wait!
Siri and Monica enthusiastically put out the poem. Siri's a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same, myself. Best girl! Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion, to be fair. Ellipses. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional.
Yeah? What was that?
Ellipses with a question mark at the end. Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. I ellipses with an exclamation mark. Oh, he's going to hate me.
You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
Eh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before.
Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really.
Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly and then looks at my poem again. Ellipses. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that sort of thing myself, I picked them to learn to pick up on them. I think that the most notable thing I recognize in new writers is they try and make their style very deliberate. In other words, they try to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The result ends that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques to go into writing even a simple poem, not just finding them and building them, but getting to put them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. Sorry.
It's fine.
I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki.
Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if the rare opportunity for her, which in itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't there supposed to be a literature club?
Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last to yet be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back.
Ellipses. I'm sorry for having such terrible handwriting.
What?
I wasn't thinking that at all, but it took you a long time to read.
Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
Eh? Well, that's a relief.
Also, I liked the poem. Even though it was short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little bit more mild, something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Jidge 2.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all, but remember, poets often express their own thoughts and feelings and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn way of putting it. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. Perhaps we should have a one-on-one tuition sometime. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep doing my best for you, Chidge 2. Not in general, just for you. Ah, me too, but for me, not you. Okay, so as we know her...
Ellipses! This is a really good poem, Chidge 2. Are you sure it was your first time?
Of course. It's not that good. I'm the kind of guy who writing poems in spare time.
I guess you're right, but that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It reminds me of how you're really part of the club now.
Not to mention the fact that I'm standing right in front of you in the club room. Oh, was that? Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Chidge.
Chidge 2.
Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something only really good people do.
Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? And that'll be my way of thanking you.
Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yay!
Why is there a tilde?
Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
We'll see about that.
Dear sunshine,
the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad, I want breakfast. I like it. It's my kind of poem, really. Sayori. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this?
No, just a little bit.
You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still tried my best.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah, especially that last line.
I made eggs and toast.
Even though you were late to school.
It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This was so much fun. Monica's the best.
Yeah.
But next time, I won't forget, and I'm gonna write the best poem ever.
Well, I guess I'll look forward to it. Club Prez. Hi, Jiv 2. Having good time so far? Oh, yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm much more settled in. Anyway, I want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry about it, Judge 2. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But that's the sort of barrier that we'll learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Judge 2. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easy for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. It's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when the readers are often left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, but allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It can take years of practices, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learning by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else may be a little bit biased towards their own kind of styles, but I'll always try and what helps you most. Don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not very, very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction the sparkle protrudes, a noisy neighbour, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in. Oh damn, if you've played the game or know what it's about, y'all know what I'm talking about there. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. She looks so sad. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style's got pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. That was the inspiration behind this one. What was the inspiration? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's been coming on kind of strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get some things down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this: if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just end up with a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Save. Right, I'm gonna call it there for now. I will be uploading this in multiple parts, but on the same day. So you can look forward to the next part in roughly 5 hours, if you've watched this, from where it is. I suppose it's like 4 hours and 10 minutes, because this was 50 odd minutes long. Regardless, I will catch you cats on the flip-flop. Hope you've enjoyed, and look forward to some more DDLC.